Today you're going to begin learning a new group of lowercase cursive letters. To prepare for that, we're going to practice an oval that begins at the baseline and curves up to the headline with an overcurve. Watch as I make one. Beginning at the baseline, using an overcurve to come up to the headline, then back down to the baseline and close. And we will do this oval to the count of 8. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Hold your pencil in the air, and I would like for you to make the overcurve oval as I trace this one. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Check your writing position. Make sure you're sitting tall and holding your paper and pencil correctly. Put your pencil at the baseline and I'll count for you as you make this oval. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's take a look at the first letter that we're going to learn, the letter N. It begins at the baseline with an overcurve to the midline, then a slant to the baseline, another overcurve to the midline, slant back down to the baseline, and an undercurve for the finish. Let's look at it again. Overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant, undercurve. Now I'll make the letter N for you on my paper. Beginning at the baseline, overcurve to the midline, and then slant. Here we're going to retrace as we overcurve and slant, and then an undercurve to the midline for the finish. Hold your pencil in the air and write the letter N as I trace this one. Ready? Begin. Overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant, undercurve. Put your pencil at the baseline and let's write the letter N. Ready? Begin. Overcurve, slant, now retrace, and overcurve, slant, undercurve to the midline for the finish. We can make the letter N to the count of 2. Watch as I do that. Beginning at the baseline, number 1 is the overcurve, slant, and 2 is the overcurve, slant, and finish. Put your pencil at the baseline, and I'll count for you as you make your second N. Ready? Begin. 1, 2. Check to see that you started at the baseline, that both parts of the letter touch the midline, that you came back down to the baseline both times again, and then up to the midline with the undercurve for the finish. Now I would like for you to look at this picture and see if you can find the letter N. Have you found it yet? I'm sure you have, and there it is, the letter N. We're going to use this letter at the end of the word clown. Watch as I write it. Beginning with the letter C at the midline with a little touch down, retrace, curve back around, and then we're going to come clear up to the headline with an L, loop, and slant. Now an under, over for an O, circular down and up, retrace, now a little undercurve for the W, then slant, undercurve, slant, undercurve, retrace, now an under, over, and come back down for the N, another overcurve, slant, and a finish. Notice how I connected the W with the N. Hold your pencil in the air, and I'd like you to write the word clown as I trace this. Ready? Begin. Touch down, curve back and around, now up for the L, undercurve, loop, slant, the O, under, over, circular, down, up, closed, retrace, a little undercurve, and slant for the W, undercurve, slant, undercurve. Now retrace and a little under over, and come down with a slant for the N, over curve, slant, and an undercurve through the midline for the finish. I'd like for you to write the word clown on your paper. Put your pencil at the midline, and let's begin. Ready? First the C. Touch down, retrace, curve back and around. Now come up to the headline for the L, loop and slant. Now a little under over, coming up for the O, circular down, up, close, retrace. Now a little undercurve for the W, slant, undercurve, slant, undercurve, retrace. Now under, over curve and slant for the N, over curve, slant, and then an undercurve for the finish. I'd like for you to check the word clown as it appears again. First the letter C, the L, then the letter O, the letter W. Now pay close attention to this connection, under, over for the N and the finish. The next letter that you're going to learn is the letter M. Let's take a look at it. It begins at the baseline, just like the N, with an overcurve to midline and then a slant back to the baseline, then retrace, an overcurve, slant, retrace, overcurve, slant, and then an undercurve up to the midline for the finish. Let's look at the M again. Overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant, and finish. Now watch as I make the M on the board. Beginning at the baseline, overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant, and undercurve up to the midline for the finish. Hold your pencil in the air and make the letter M as I trace this one. Ready? Begin. Overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant, undercurve. Now put your pencil on the baseline and let's make the letter M. Ready? Begin. Overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant, and undercurve for the finish. We can do the letter M to the count of 3. Watch as I do that. The first part, of course, would be number 1, the overcurve and then the slant. Then the second overcurve and slant is number 2. And then the third overcurve and slant. And the finish is number 3. Put your pencil at the baseline, and I'll count for you as you make your second M. Ready? Begin. 1, 2, 3. Look at your M, look at my M. Check to see that all of the parts on the top come to the midline and that all of the slants come to the baseline. Check to see that the M, the 3 parts of it are about the same width. Now I'd like to see if you can find the letter M in this picture. Have you found it yet? Look very carefully. And there is the letter M. We're going to use the letter M in the word men. Beginning at the baseline, overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant. Now an undercurve for the letter E, loop and slant. Now under over for the letter N. This gives us more practice with the letter N. Overcurve, slant, and undercurve to the midline for the finish. Hold your pencils in the air and write the word men as I trace it. Ready? Begin. Overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant, overcurve, slant. Now the E, undercurve, loop, slant. Now under, overcurve, and slant for the N, over curve, slant, and under curve to the midline for the finish. Put your pencil on the baseline and let's write the word men. Ready? Begin. Over curve, slant, over curve, slant, over curve, slant. Now the E, under curve, loop, slant. Now the N, under, now over curve, slant, over curve, slant, and under curve to the midline for the finish. I'd like for you to check your word men as it appears again. First, the letter M, the letter E. Notice the connection now to the N. The next letter you're going to learn is the letter V. Let's take a look at it. It begins at the baseline with an over curve to the midline, then a slant back to the baseline, an under curve to the midline, slightly above with a little retrace, and a swing to the midline for the finish. Let's look at it again. Over curve, slant, under curve, retrace, and swing. Now I'll write it on the board for you. Beginning at the baseline, over curve, slant, under curve, retrace slightly above the midline, and swing with a little under curve for the finish. Hold your pencil in the air and make the letter V as I trace it. Ready? Begin. Over curve, slant, under curve, retrace, swing. Put your pencil at the baseline and let's write the letter V. Ready? Begin. Over curve, slant, under curve, retrace, and finish with a swing. We can write the letter V to the count of 2. Watch as I do that. The first part is 1, and it's the over curve, slant, and the under curve up to the little retrace. Then the little retrace and the swing would be number 2. Put your pencil at the baseline and I'll count for you. Ready? Write 1, 2. I'd like for you to see if you can find the letter V in this picture. Have you found it yet? Look carefully. Keep looking, and there it is, the letter V. I would like for you to continue to write the letters M, N, and V by practicing them in words for your next lesson.